Every day we're on from 1 until 4 o'clock, and every day after 4 o'clock, whatever you missed, you can hear on the podcast, John Kobylt Show on Demand. That's on the iHeart app, and you can hear everything that you missed today. Tonight, I'm going to be on Alex Michelson's show on CNN in the 10 o'clock hour, and it's called The Story Is, and we're going to be discussing the ICE agent killing that woman up in Minneapolis. So that'll be in the 10 o'clock hour. Alex Michelson, The Story Is on CNN. You could watch me right before bed. Actually, usually I'm in bed that hour, so I don't know. I may pass out on the desk there. We just played Carolyn Johnson's report from NBC4, and we're always ragging on the local media because they seem disinterested in a lot of the most important stories in the city and the state. But this time, NBC came through, and they talked with the attorney, Roger Behle, who's the lead attorney for thousands of homeowners in the Palisades area who were burned out in the fire. And there's two snippets I want to replay for you here, short ones, because they're really important. Roger Behle is deposing people under oath for this civil lawsuit, including state employees. And there's so many people who screwed up the entire process from beginning to end. It seems like everybody did everything wrong. And there was one female state park employee, and she should have closed the Lockman Fire area to the public. And there should have been inspections done to see if there was smoldering. And there was smoldering. And the LA Fire Department saw the smoldering and wanted to put it out once and for all. And state park employees wouldn't let them. Well, listen to what this woman did.
Based on your observations when you hiked up and took photos on January 1st, you said you saw evidence of smoldering still occurring. Did that not cause you to think that the park should be closed to members of the public?
I did not believe it was necessary to close the park.
Even though you saw evidence of smoldering, correct?
Correct.
Did you communicate your observations of smoldering to anyone else in state parks?
No.
All right, let's talk about this woman here. We pay her. She earns tax money. It's not a complicated job on this particular day. She's walking around. We just had a fire. Already, the National Weather Service is putting out warnings that we're going to have Santa Ana winds. They're going to be bad, and there could be fire danger. Already, that was happening. She sees smoldering, and what she should have done, if you read the handbook, is you shall close the park. Shall means it's a must. You have to. No discretion there. You shall close the park. She does not close the park, even though she sees smoldering. There's smoke. Now, I think you would do this. I would do this, right? When you see brush smoldering, what are you going to do? You're going to call the fire department. It's on state land here. So at the very least, you call your bosses. Or you call CAL FIRE. You call CAL FIRE, LA Fire. You tell your bosses, hey, there's smoldering. Because the winds, and she should know this, if you're going to work as an employee and you're working in a wildland area, you should know that when these winds start blowing, it could kick up the fire again. People who work in the fire business know this. It's basic knowledge. So you see smoldering, like if you saw smoldering in your backyard lawn, if you were pushing your kid in a stroller in a park and you saw smoldering, what would you do? She not only doesn't close the park, she doesn't call CAL FIRE. She doesn't call the LA Fire Department. She doesn't call her bosses. She didn't think it was necessary to close the park. Well, it says in the handbook it's necessary. And she doesn't tell anybody at the smoldering. She just goes home. Now, again, the park is adjacent to the Palisades, where tens of thousands of people live. Nothing inside her brain goes, wow, that fire could kick up and the winds are supposed to blow hard this week and we could have a fire and that could wipe out the Palisades. Nothing. No little pit in the stomach, no little nervous twitch, no little, that doesn't look good. Even if she didn't know exactly what to do, that's what she got the manual for. Now let's get the second guy here. He's the biologist. What is he? The state biologist. Go ahead.
I eventually managed to connect with Chief Mullen, and I made the request that we pull in some of the cut vegetation to obscure the beginning of where that hand line was so people wouldn't get confused.
And did you take the firefighters to that location and point it out to them?
Yes.
So here's another state employee. Again, we pay him. He gets our tax money. Here's his contribution to this massive disaster. He sees that the fire department had cut a fire line. So now you had bare ground instead of the vegetation, the ground covering. He sees that and he goes, well, that's no good because people might get confused. Well, what would be the confusion? Well, they would think it's a hiking path. And then they'd start walking on the hiking path. So he has them collect the vegetation they tore out and then patch it back on this path. So now there's no fire break. He actually had the fire break removed while the other lady sees the smoldering, which became the January 7th fire. She doesn't report the smoldering. He gets rid of the fire break. What the hell? Could you have two more? Are there two more stupid actions than that? It's impossible. Those two actions are the stupidest actions you could come up with in this particular situation. Not reporting the smoldering with the winds blowing, and also putting it back like it was a hairpiece or something. You had some bald ground there, and you're putting the grass back. Oh, people will get confused, and they'll start walking down the path. Yeah, and then what? Then what'll happen? Oh, yeah, then they might start stomping around on the milk veg plant. We can't have people getting confused and then stomping on the milk veg plant. He's a state biologist. He has a college degree. Probably the other lady has a college degree. And they're getting salaries from us. And there's one moment in their lives where they mattered. One moment. This is the first time she mattered to the public. And that was, she's got a phone in her hand or in her pocket. Pull out the phone, call somebody. That's all you had to do. This guy sees a fire break, and he decides, well, we don't really need a fire break. I mean, now people might walk on that path and get confused. And then they're going to be stepping on the milk veg plant. Oh, my God. Little children would have made better decisions. My cat and dog, my two lizards would have made better decisions than this. And then look what happened. And it's these little tiny things. I'm getting a bad headache here.